oxygen and
We
oil.
are killing for gasoline.
The world is almost...
What are you doing?
I want to get through this.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day! This before. I am the one who runs from both the living.
You arise! I want them back! They're mine!
Oh, what a day!
Each of us in our own way was broken. Me.
Hello friends, welcome back to another amazing movie review. Today we are talking about Mad Max Fury Road, one of the most exciting action movies ever made. This movie was released in 2015 and from the first few minutes it gives you non-stop action. The story happens in a dangerous world where water, fuel and food are very rare. Because of this, people fight every day just to stay alive. There are almost no rules, and only the strong people can survive. The main hero is Max. He is a quiet man who has lost almost everything in his life. He does not trust anyone because his past is full of pain and sad memories. Max only wants to stay alive and keep moving, but one day his life changes when he meets Imperator Furiosa, a brave and powerful woman who is trying to escape from a cruel ruler named Immortan Joe. At first, Max does not want to help anyone. He only thinks about saving himself, but after seeing the truth, he slowly starts working with Furiosa. From this moment, the movie becomes even more exciting. Every minute brings a new danger, a new fight, and a new surprise. The action is so fast that you will feel like you are inside the movie. It is a unforgettable experience, especially if you enjoy action and adventure movies. As the journey continues, Max and Furiosa travel across a hot desert with a very important mission. Furiosa is not running away just for herself. She wants to save five young women who were kept as prisoners by Immortal Joe. These women have lagged without freedom for a long time, and now they finally have a chance to start a new life. They know the road is full of danger, but they are ready to take the risk because freedom is more important than fear. At the beginning of the journey, Max does not fully trust Furiosa. Furiosa also does not trust Max, Both of them know that in this dangerous world, trusting the wrong person can cost a life. Because of this, they are always careful with each other. But when they face many dangerous situations together, they slowly understand that they have the same goal. They both want to survive and they both want to stop the cruel rule of Immortal Joe. Soon, Immortal Joe find out that Furiosa has escaped. He becomes very angry and immediately starts a chase across the desert. He sends many dangerous fighters and powerful vehicles to catch them. Every vehicle looks different and every enemy is ready to fight until the end. From this point, the movie almost never shows down. One action scene ends and another being only a few moments later. The desert itself feels like another character in the movie. Everywhere you look, there is hot sand, a strong wind, broken roads, and empathy land. There are no safe places to hide. The weather is harsh, the journey is difficult, and every small mistake can become a big problem. Even finding clear water is almost impossible. This makes every moment feel more real because the characters are fighting not only against enemies but also against nature. One of the best thing about this movie is teamwork. Max is strong and smart, while Furiosa is fearless, calm, and a excellent driver. Together, they make a great team. Sometimes Max saves Furiosa, and sometimes Furiosa saves Max. No one is shown as perfect. Every character makes mistakes, gets tried, and faces difficult choices. That is why they feel like real person instead of superheroes. The movie also introduced another important character named Nux. At first, Nux is one of Immortanjo's loyal fighters. He believes that following his leader is the greatest honor, but during the journey, he starts seeing the truth. He begins to understand that everything he believed may not be right. This slowly changes is thinking and his character becomes one interesting with every scene. Another great part of the movie is the action. The action does not depend on too much computer effects. Almost of the vehicles explosions and sunsets are real, which makes every chase feel more exciting. When the cars crash, when the truck jump over the sand, and when the explosion happen, everything looks natural and powerful. Because of this, the audience feels connected to every moment. The background music is also fantastic. It becomes louder during the action scene and slower during emotional moments. This helps increase the excitement and keeps the audience fully interested from beginning to end. Even when there is very little dialogue, the music and visuals tell the story perfectly. As the chase continue, Max, Furiosa, the five women, and Nux know that the road ahead will come even more dangerous. But now they are no longer thinking only about running away. They they begin to realize that sometimes real courage is not just escaping from danger, it is standing together, helping each other, and fighting for a better future, no matter how impossible the situation looks. After Max joins Furiosa, the real journey begins. Furiosa is not running away for himself, for herself. She is trying to save five young women who were kept as prisoners by Immortal Joe. These women have spent their lives without freedom. They want a new life where they can live without fear. Furiosa promised to take them to a safe palace called the Green Palace, where she believes they can finally be free. The five women are capable, toast, the knowing, the dag, judo the fragile, and splendid angarad. Everyone Every one of them has a difficult personality, but they all have the same dream to live a normal life without pain. At first, they are not sure if they can trust Max because he looks dangerous and speaks very little. Max also does not trust them. He has learned from his past that trusting people can be risky, but as they travel together, they slowly begin to understand each other. Meanwhile, Immortal Joe becomes extremely angry when he finds out that Furiosa has escaped with the woman. He know they are very important to him, so he decided to chase them with everything he has. He gathers a hug group of fighters, powerful cars, bikes, and giant trucks. His army is ready to do anything to bring them back. Starts one of the biggest and longest vehicle chase in the movie history. As the chase continues, Max and Furiosa must work together to survive. The desert is full of danger. There is almost no water, the sun is burning hot, and every road is filled with enemies. They have very little time to rest because the enemy is always close behind them. Every, every few minutes, another attack begins. First, cars crash into each other, bikes jump through the air, and explosions happen everywhere. Even during all this action, the movie never forgets its characters. It shows how every person is fighting for hope, freedom, and a better future. One of the most interesting character is Nux. At the beginning, Nux is one of Emotonjo loyal soldiers. He believes that fighting for his leader is the greatest honor. He is ready to give his life without asking any question. But after sending them with Max, Furiosa, and the woman, he slowly starts to see that everything he believed may not be true. This makes his character very emotional and difficult from a normal action movie villain. His journey becomes one of the most memorable part of the movie. The movie also tells its story without using too many long conversations. Instead, it uses powerful action, facial expressions, and beautiful camera shot to explain what the characters are feeling. Even when nobody is speaking, you can understand the fear, hope, and determination on their faces. This is one of the biggest reasons why the movie feels so special. It keeps the audience interested from beginning to end, making every scene feel important. As the journey moves forward, Max, Furiosa, Nux, and the five women finally travel deeper into the desert, hoping they are getting closer to the Green Palace. Everyone is tired after so many fights, but they still keep moving because stopping even for a short time could mean death. Even person in the group is crying pain for the past, yet they continue walking with hope that a better future is waiting for them. After a long journey, Furiosa finally meets a group of older women known as the Vuvalini. These women are strong survivors who have lived in the desert for many years. Furiosa is happy to see them because they remind her of her childhood. She believes they will guide everyone to the green place, but soon she hears shocking news. The Vuvalini tell Furiosa that the green palace no longer exists. Long ago, it was full of trees, clean water, and life. But over the year, the land became dry, the water disappeared, and everything was destroyed. Hearing his breaks, Furiosa heart. She had spent years dreaming about returning to that palace, and now she learns that her dream is gone forever. For a few moments, everyone becomes silent. They have escaped from Immortal Joe, crossed the danger desert, fought many enemies, and lost so much, only to discover that the palace they wanted to reach is already gone. It feels like all their hard work was for nothing. The group does not know what to do next. Some think they should keep moving into the unknown, while others feel There is no palace left in the world. At this important moment, Max quietly starts thinking. He looks at the empty desert, then at Furiosa, and finally at the group. He realizes that running away forever is not the answer. No matter how far they travel, they will always be chased by fear. Then Max shares a bold idea. He tells everyone that instead of running away, they should go back. They should return to the cita- cita- citadel, the palace they escaped from. Max explained that most of Immortan Joe army is already far behind them in the desert. If they go back quickly, they may reach the citadel before the enemy returns. If they win, they can control the water and food, helping thousands of innocent people instead of only saving themselves. At first, the plan sounds impossible. Everyone knows that going back means facing Imotanjo again. It is the most dangerous decision they could make. But after thinking carefully, Furious understands that Max is right. Real courage is not hiding from danger. Sometimes courage means going back to fight for something that truly matters. The whole group finally agrees with Max's plan. They turn their vehicles around and being driving back forward the citadel. They know that the biggest battle of their lives is waiting for them. Every person understands that they may not survive this journey, but they are ready to risk everything for freedom, hope, and better future. As the powerful truck races across the desert once again, the audience can feel that the movie is now entering its final and most exciting chapter. The action becomes bigger, the danger becomes greater, and every decision now can change the future of everyone forever. Now the final journey begins. Max, Furiosa, Nux, the Vuvalini, and the five women know that there is no turning back. They have only one chance to chase their future. If they fail, Immortal Joe will capture them again, and if they succeed, thousands of people living in the citadel many may finally become free. The giant war rig starts moving at full speed across the desert. The engine becomes louder, dust fills the air, and everyone gets ready for one last battle. Max carefully checks his weapons and watches every direction. Furiosa keeps both hands on the steering wheel because she know every second is important. The women also refuse to hide. They decide to help in every way they can. This shown how much they have changed since the beginning of the movie. Earlier they were only trying to survive, but now they are ready to fight for their own future. Very soon, Immortal Joe and his army appear behind them once again. Dozen of first vehicles race through the desert. Loud engines, flying stunt, and hug explosions make every moment feel intense. The enemies attack from every side. Some jump from one vehicle to another using long poles, while others try to destroy the war ring. Every attack becomes more dangerous than the last one. Max fights with great courage. He protects the truck while also helping the people inside. Furiosa never loses her focus. Even when the situation becomes almost impossible, she continues driving through broken roads, rocks, and enemies' vehicles. Their teamwork becomes stronger than ever. Without speaking too much, they understand each other's action. A single look is enough for them to know what to do next. During the battle, Lux faces the biggest decision of his life. In the beginning, he wanted to please Immortal Joe. Now he understands that true honor is not following a cruel leader. True honor is protecting innocent people. Nux decides to help Max and Furiosa, even though he know it could cost him everything. This moment completes his character journey and show how much he has changed. The fight continues without stopping. Vehicles crash into each other, metal breaks apart, and the desert becomes a hug battlefield. Every character has important role. Nobody gives up. Even after getting hurt, the movie keeps the excitement high from one scene to the next. There are almost no slow moments because the story keeps moving forward at full speed. Finally, Furiosa gets a chance to face Immortal Joe directly. This is the moment she has been waiting for during the entire journey. She remembers all the pain she caused to so many people. With the help of Max, she fights back with all her strength. It is a powerful and emotional moment because it is just a fight between two people. It is a fight between freedom and control, hope and fear. The battle reaches its highest point. Every second feels important. One small mistake could change everything. The audience stay completely focused because nobody knows what will happen next. The movie builds suspense in a very natural way, making the ending feel exciting and satisfying at the same time. As the dust slowly begins to settle, it becomes clear that the long journey is almost over. But one final challenge is still waiting for Max Furiosa and the other can true change the future of the Ci- Citadel. Their last decision will decide whether this dangerous mission become a victory or end in another tragedy. The final battle reaches its most powerful moment. Max Furiosa and their friends give everything they have. They know there are no second chance. Every decision, every move, and every second can decide the future of everyone living in the citadel. During the fight, Furiosa finally defeat Immortal Joe after ruling people with fear of many years. His power comes to an end. The soldiers who always followed him become confused because their leader is gone. The people who lived under his control finally see a chance to become free. But the battle is not over yet. Furiosa is badly injured. She loses a lot of blood and becomes very weak. Max quickly realizes that she may not survive without help. Even though Max is also tried and injured, he refused to leave her behind. He does everything he can to save her. This is a very emotional moment because at the beginning of the movie, Max trusted no one. Now he is risking his own life to save someone else. At the same time, Nux makes the biggest sacrifice of his life. He uses the war ring war rig to stop the enemy vehicles and creates a chance for Max, Furiosa, and the others to escape. Nux know that the Nux know that he may not survive, but he smiles because for the first time in his life he is doing something truly good. His sacrifice changes the result of the battle and helps the heroes complete their mission. After the fight ends, Max, Furiosa, the five women, and the Wolverine return to the citadel. The people living there are surprised to see them. They also see that Immortal Joe is no longer in control. The gates of the citadel open and the people welcome Furiosa as a true hero. The water, which was controlled by Immortal Joe, is finally shared with everyone. Instead of giving it to only a few people, it is now available for all. This scene gives a strong message that resources should be shared fairly and not controlled by one cruel person. Hope returns to the people after many years of suffering. One of the most beautiful moments comes at the end. Furiosa is lifted up by the people as a symbol of freedom and hope. The five women smile because they finally have the life they always dreamed of. The future is still uncertain, but now they can live with fear. Max, however, does not stay to celebrate. He quietly looks around, see that the people are finally safe, and then slowly walks away into the crowd. He does not ask for praise, reward, or recognition. He know his job is finished. Max has always been a lonely travel and he chooses to continue his journey alone. This simple ending perfectly matches his character and leaves a strong impression on the audience. Overall, Mad Max Furiosa is much more than a normal action movie. It has an exciting story, unforgettable action scene, powerful character, beautiful camera work, and excellent background music. The movie show that real heroes are not those who have the most powerful, but those who protect others even when situation looks impossible. If you love action, adventure, f- fast vehicles, chase, and emotional character journey, then Mad Max Fury Road is definitely a movie you should watch at last once. It keeps you excited from the first minute to the last and proves why it is considered one of the greatest action movies ever made. One of the biggest reasons why Mad Max Fury Road became so popular is that almost every action scene feels real instead of depending only on computer graphics. The filmmakers used real vehicles, real explosions, and real stunt performs. Because of this, every chase scene looks natural and makes the audience feel like they are inside the action. Many scenes were filmed in real desert locations, which makes the world look hug and believable. The movie also has amazing camera work. Even during very first action scene, it is easy to understand what is happening on the screen. Every shot is clear and every movement of the vehicle is captured beautifully. The editing is fast but never confusing. This is one of the reason why many people watch this movie again and again. Another great thing is the background music. The music perfectly matches every scene. During action moment, it makes your heart beat faster, and during emotional scene, it becomes soft and powerful. The combination of music, sound effects, and action creates an unforgettable experience. The exciting by Max Furiosa, Nux, and Immortal Joe is excellent. Even though there are not many long dialogues, every actor express emotions through facial expressions, body language, and action. This makes the character feel real and memorable. The movie also give a important message. It shows that power power should never be used to control innocent people. It teaches that hope, courage, trust, and teamwork can defeat even the strongest enemy. Max starts as a lonely man who trusts nobody, but by the end of the movie, he learns that helping others can change lives. Furiosa proves that real strength comes from determination and kindness, not from fear or violence. Because of its amazing direction, powerful action, emotional story, and unforgettable characters, Mad Max Fury Road is still considered one of the best action movies ever made. Even many years after its release, people continue to watch it and recommended it to new audiences. It is a movie that entrance you from start to finish and leaves a strong impression long after the credits end. One interesting thing about Mad Max is that the movie does not waste time with long introduction. From the very beginning, it should throw the audience directly into the action. This style makes the movie feel fast and exciting from the first scene until the last. Instead of explaining everything with long dialogues, the film lets the audience understand the world by watching the characters, the vehicles, the costumes, and the locations. The word shown in the movie is very different from our own. Water is more valuable than money. Fuel is treated like treasure, and people are ready to fight for even the smallest amount of food. Because of this, every decision made by Max and Furiosa become very important. A single mistake can put the whole group in danger. Another thing that makes the movie special is the design of the vehicles. Every car, truck, and bike has its own unique look. These vehicles are not just used for travel, they are almost like weapons. The Hugwar ring comes one of the most memorable parts of the movie because it carries the heroes through almost every danger situation. The costume and makeup also help create this strange world. Every character looks different, showing how difficult life has become after the world changed. Without saying many words, the movie tells the audience a lot about each character just by the way they look and behave. One more reason why people love this movie is that it respects the audience. It does not explain every small detail. Instead, it allows viewers to think and understand the story by themselves. This makes the movie more interesting because every time you watch it, you may notice something new that you missed before. Overall, Mad Max Fury Road is not only famous for its action but also for its amazing world, creative ideas, unforgettable characters, and powerful storytelling. That is why many movies fans still call it one of the greatest action films ever made. Even after so many years, Mad Max Fury Road remains one of the most talked about action movies in the world. One reason is that the movie never feels old. When people watch it today, the action still looks fresh, exciting, and powerful. Many action movies depend only on computer effects, but this film uses real vehicles, real desert locations, and real stunt performance. Because of this, every chase feels natural, every explosion looks powerful, and every danger moment feels believable. Another amazing part of the movie is how every character has an important role. Max is not shown as a perfect hero who wins every fight easily. He gets injured, makes mistakes, and sometimes even needs help from other people. This makes his character feel human. Furiosa is also one of the strongest female character in action movie history. She is brave, intelligent, and never give up. Even when everything seems impossible, her courage inspires everyone around her. The relationship between Max and Furiosa is another reason why the movie is loved by so many people. They do not become friends immediately in the beginning. Both of them are careful because they have learned not to trust strangers. But after facing danger together again and again, they slowly build trust. They help each other without expecting anything in return. Their partnership is based on respect, not on wrong space or promises. Sometimes a single look between them say more than many pairs of dialogue. The movie also show how people can change. Nux is the best example. At first, he believes that following immortal Joe is the only purpose of his life, but after spending time with Max, Furiosa, and the woman, he begins to understand the difference between fear and freedom. His journey teaches that it is never too late to choose the right path. Even someone who made mistake in the past can be become a better person by making the right decision. The action scenes are planned with incredible detail. Every vehicle moves differently, every fight has its own style, and every explosion happens at the perfect moment. The audience never feels bored because something exciting is always happening. Even small moments like changing a tire or protecting the fuel become exciting because the danger is always close. The movie also uses silence in a very smart way. There are many silence where the character do not speak for a long time. Instead, their faces, actions, and the background music tell the whole story. This style makes every emotional moment stronger. You can understand what Max or Furiosa is feeling without hearing many words. The desert is not just a location, it feels like another character in the story. Endless sand, hug rocks, dry land, and empathy roads create a world where survival is the best challenge. The bright sunlight during the day and the dark sky at the night make every scene look beautiful. The camera capture every part of the desert in a way that makes the audience feel the hurt, the dust, the loneliness of the dangerous world. One more thing that makes the movie special is its message. It teaches that real leadership is about helping people, not controlling them. Immoral rule through fear, while Furiosa earn respect by protecting others. Max never asks to become a leader, but his actions show true bravery. The movie reminds us that courage, trust, sacrifice, and hope are stronger than fear. Even the smallest character leave a impression. Even every member of the group has a reason to keep moving forward. Everyone has dreams, fears, and hopes. This makes the audience care about them during every dangerous moment. When someone is in trouble, you truly want them to survive. The background music deserves special praise. It perfectly matches every scene. During the biggest action sequence, the music becomes loud and energetic. During quiet scene, it becomes soft and emotional. This perfect combination of music and action keeps the audience fully connected to the story. Overall, Mad Max Fury Road is much more than a movie about cars and explosions. It is a story about survival, freedom, trust, and never giving up. It proves that even in the darkest world, hope can still exist. That is why millions of people around the world continue to watch this movie again and again. Whether you love action, adventure, or strong characters, this film delivers a unforgettable experience from beginning to end, and has earned its place as one of the greatest action movie ever made. Another reason why Mad Max Fury Road is considered a masterpiece is because almost every scene has a purpose. There are very few moments that feel unnecessary. From the beginning until the ending, the movie keeps moving forward without slowing down. This makes the audience feel excited all the time. Even if someone watches the movie for the second or third time, they can still notice new details that they may have missed before. One of the most interesting things is how the movie builds its world without giving long explanations. Instead of showing long flashback or telling the audience everything through dialogue, the movie lets you discover the world by watching the characters and their surroundings. You see broken buildings, old machines, empty desert, and damaged vehicles. These small details tell the audience that the world was one normal, but something terrible happened many years ago. This style of storytelling makes the movie feel more realistic. Max is a hero who speaks very little, but his actions are louder than his words. Whenever someone needs help, he quietly steps forward without asking for praise. He never tried to become famous or prove that he is stronger than everyone else. His only goal is to survive while helping innocent people whenever possible. This makes this makes very different from many action heroes in another movies. Furiosa is equally important. She is brave, intelligent, and never lose hope. Even after facing years of pain, she still believes that people deserve freedom. She never give up, even when a dream of finding the Green Palace is destroyed. Instead of accepting defeat, she chose to fight for a better future. This makes her one of the strongest and most respected character in the movie. The five women also grow as characters during the journey. In the beginning, they are scared and unsure or what will happen next. But as they travel with Max and Furiosa, they become stronger and more confident. They stop waiting for others to save them and being helping during danger situation. This show that courage can grow even in the most difficult cir- circus circumstances. The vehicles in the movie deserve special attention. Every car, truck, and bike has its own unique design. Some vehicles are built for speed, while others are made for power. The famous war ring is not just a truck; it becomes the home, shield, and hope of the heroes during their danger journey. Watching these vehicles race across the desert is one of the biggest reason why the action feels so exciting. The movie also shows that surviving is not only about being strong; it is also about making smart decisions, trusting the right people, and staying calm during dangerous moment. Many times Max and Furiosa survive not because they are stronger than the enemy, but because they work together and thinking quickly. Their teamwork is one of the strongest parts of the story. Another impressive part of the movie is its sound. Every engine, explosion, and weapon has a powerful sound that makes the audience feel the action. If you watch this movie with good speakers or headphones, the experience becomes even better. The sound effects make every chase scene feel alive. The movie also become famous because of its amazing camera work. During first action scene, the camera stay focused on the important moment. The audience can clearly see what is happening without getting confused. This is what easy to achieve in a action movie with so many moving vehicles and explosions. It show the skill of the filmmakers. Many movie lovers say that Mad Max Fury Road changed the way modern action movies are made. After its release, many filmmakers tried to create action scene with more real stunt, better camera work, and a stronger storytelling. Because of this, the movie had a big influence on the action movie industry. Even today, fans continue discussing their favorite scene, favorite character, and the amazing action sequence. Some people watch the movie for the thrilling chase, while others enjoy the emotional journey of Max, Furiosa, and Nux. This show that the movie offers something for every type of audience. In the end, Mad Max Fury Road is perfect example of how a action movie can also have strong characters, meaningful themes, and an unforgettable story. It is not only about speed and explosions, it is about hope, freedom, sacrifice, friendship, and the courage to fight for a better tomorrow. That is why this action continues to be remembered as one of the greatest action films ever created, and it remains a favorite of millions of movie fans around the world. Before watching Mad Max Fury Road, many people think it is only a movie about fast cars and big explosions, but after finishing the film, they realize that it is much deeper than that. Behind every action scene, there is a story about hope, freedom, survival, and humanity. The movie reminds us that even when the world becomes dark, people can still find the strength to help each other. One of the strongest points of the movie is its pacing. From the opening scene until the final moment, the story keeps moving forward. There are almost no slow scenes. Every few minutes, something important happens. A new challenge appears, a new enemy attacks, or the character make another difficult decisions. Because of this, the audience never loses interest. The movie keeps your eyes on the screen from beginning to end. Another reason why the movie feels so exciting is its practical effects. Most of the vehicles, crashes, and explosions were created for real instead of depending only on computer graphic. This gives every action scene a realistic feeling. When the vehicles race across the desert, you can almost feel the speed. When the explosions happen, they look powerful and natural. This is one of the biggest reason why the action still looks amazing even after many years. Max is a character who does not speak much about his silence. Max is more interesting. Instead of giving long speech, he show his personality through his action. He protects innocent people, makes smart decisions, and never gives up during danger situations. By the end of the movie, he proved that a true hero does not need fame or rewards. Helping others is enough for him. Furiosa is equally unforgettable. She is fearless, determined, and ready to risk everything for freedom. Even after facing disappointed when she learns that the Green Palace is gone, she does not stop fighting. Instead, she chooses to create a better future. Her journey teaches that even when dreams are broken, new hope can still be found. The friendship between Max and Furiosa grow naturally. They never waste time making promise. They simply help each other whenever needed. This silent trust become stronger with every challenge they face together. Their teamwork becomes one of the most memorable parts of the movie. The movie also has excellent word building long ex- long explanations. It creates a complete world that feels real. Every vehicle, every costume, every weapon, and every location tells a part of the story. The audience slowly understand how people live, how they survive, and why water and fuel are more valuable than anything else. Another interesting point is that the audience never forget its smaller characters, even characters who appears for only a short time have their own purpose. This makes the world feel alive. Everyone is trying to survive in their own way, and every person has a different story. The background music also deserves appreciation. During the biggest battles, the music becomes loud and powerful, making every action scene even more exciting. During emotional moments, it becomes soft and calm, allowing the audience to connect with the characters. The perfect balance between music and action makes the movie even more enjoyable. One, one lesson from the movie is that real strength is not only physical. Real strength comes from courage, trust, kindness, and the willingness to help others. Max, Furiosa, and Nux all prove this is different way. They show that people can change, grow, and become better even after making mistake. Finally, Mad Max Fury Road is a movie that deserves all the praise it has received over the years. It combines breathtaking action, emotion, emotional storytelling, unforgettable characters, beautiful cinematography, and meaningful messages into one incredible experience. Whether you are watching it for the first time or the 10th time, the movie still feels fresh, exciting, and entertaining. That is that is the mark of a truly great film, and it is the reason why Mad Max Fury Road continues to be loved by movie fans all around the world. One of the most impressive things about Mad Max Fury Road is that every time you watch the movie, you notice everything new. During the first watch, most people focus on the exciting action and the first vehicle chase, but when they watch it again, they paying attention to small details hidden in the background. Every vehicle has a different design, every costume tells something about the character, and every location adds more depth to the story. This is one reason why many fans enjoy watching the movie more than once. The desert is one of the biggest part of the movie. It is not just empathy palace where the action happens. It creates many problems for the characters. The ocean, the lack of water, the strong wind, and the endless sand make survival extremely difficult. The desert keeps testing Max, Furiosa, and the rest of the group. They must fight not only against Immortal Joe and his army but also against natural itself. The movie also shows how important hope can be. At many moments, the heroes lose almost everything. They become tired, injured, and disappointed. Sometimes it feels like there is no way to win, but instead of giving up, they continue moving forward. This message makes the story more powerful because it reminds the audience that difficult times do not last forever if people keep believing in themselves. Another great thing is the balance between action and emotions. The movie has many exciting chase scenes, but it also gives time to show the feeling of the characters. Max slowly learns to trust people again. Furiosa keeps fighting for freedom even after losing hope. Nux changes from a loyal soldier into someone who wants to protect innocent lives. This emotional journey makes the character memorable. The villains are also interesting. Immortal Joe continuous controls people by making them afraid. He keeps the water for himself so that everyone depends on him. This show how powerful can be misused. The movie clearly tells us that a leader should help people instead of controlling them through fear. The visual style of the movie is another reason of its success. The bright orange desert during the day and the beautiful blue night scene create a amazing contrast. Every frame looks like a painting, uh, even when there are explosions and fast moving vehicles. The audience can clearly understand what is happening. This excellent camera work makes the action easy to follow and very exciting. One more reason why people respect this movie is its simple storytelling. The story is easy to understand, but the emotions and characters make it feel much bigger. You do not need complicated twists to enjoy the film. The movie proves that a simple story can become unforgettable when it is told in the right way. Even today, many directors and filmmakers study Mad Max Fury Road to understand how to create great actions in. The movie has become an example of excellent action filmmaking because of its practical effects, a strong character, and fast pacing. It has inspired many modern action movies that come after it. If you enjoy movies that are full of action, adventure, powerful characters, and meaningful messages, then Mad Max Fury Road is a perfect choice. It is a movie that enters you from the first minute until the final scene, while also giving you unforgettable characters and a story that stay in your mind long after the movie ends. That is why this film is still remembered as one of the greatest action movies ever created. Another amazing thing about Mad Max Fury Road is that the movie the movie creates excitement without depending on long conversation. Many films spend a lot of time explaining the story through dialogue, but this movie tells its story through action, expression, and environment. Because of this, the audience stay connected to the movie every second. Even if a character say only a few words, you can still understand what they are feeling by looking at their face and their action. Max is one of the most unique action heroes because he never tried to show up. He is not interested in becoming famous or becoming called a legend. He simply but helps people when they need him and then quietly moves one. This makes him feel more realistic. Many viewers respect Max because he proved that true bravery comes from action, from not from talking. Furiosa is also one of the biggest reason behind the movie success. It is calm during danger situation and always thinks before making a decision, even when everything around her is falling apart. She never stopped trying to protect the people with her. Her determination show that real strength is not about physical power alone. It is also about having the courage to keep moving forward after every failure. The movie also pay great attention to a small detail. If you watch carefully, you will notice that every vehicle has secrets, dust, and sign of many years of use. The costumes also look old and damaged because the character have been living a harsh world for a long time. These details make the movie feel unbelievable and help the audience become fully involved in the story. The action scenes are designed in a very smart way. Every chase has a different challenge. Sometimes the heroes must escape from cars. Sometimes they must protect the boring, and sometimes they must fight while the vehicle are moving at high speed. Because every action scene is different, the movie never feels repetitive. Instead, the excitement keeps growing until the final battle. One of the most powerful idea of the movie is that trust is earned slowly. At the beginning, Max and Furiosa see each other as a stranger. They are carefully they are careful because they have both suffered in the past. But after facing danger together many times, they began to trust each other without needing long space. This makes their partnership feel natural and believable. The movie also reminds us that hope can survive even in the darkest palace. The world of Mad Max Fury Road is full of fear, violence, and suffering, yet the character continue to dream of a better future. They refuse to accept that things can never change. This message makes the movie inspiring as well as entertaining. Another memorable part of the film is its background music. The music matches every moment perfectly. During the action scene, it increases the excitement, and during emotional moment, it helps the audience connect with the character. The sound effects of the engine, explosions, and vehicles also make every chase feel powerful and realistic. Many movie fans believe that Mad Max Fury Road raised the standard for action movies. It proved that a action film can have exciting battles, a strong emotion, meaningful characters, and beautiful visuals at the same time. Because of this, the movie received praise from both audience and critics around the world. Even years after its release, people still recommended Mad Max Fury Road to anyone who loves action movies. It is the kind of film that can be enjoyed again and again because every viewing feels exciting, whether you are watching it for the incredible vehicle chase, the powerful performance, the emotional story, or the unforgettable world. The movie always delivers an amazing experience. That is why it continues to stand as one of the greatest and most respected action film ever made. So friends, many movies fans believe that Mad Max Fury Road raised the standard for action movies. It proved that a action film can have exciting battles, strong emotions, meaningful characters, and beautiful visuals at the same time. Because of this, the movie received praise from both audience and critics around the world. The movie also pay great attention to small details. If you watch carefully, you will notice that every vehicle has secrets, dust, and shine of many years of use. The costume also look old and damaged because the character have been living in a harsh word for a long time. These details make the movie feel believable and help the audience become fully involved in the story. The action scenes are designed in a very smart way. Every chase has a different challenge. Sometimes the heroes must escape from past cars, sometimes they must protect the warring, and sometimes they must fight while the vehicles are moving at high speed. Because every action scene is different, the movie never feels repetitive. Instead, the excitement keeps growing until the final battle. The movie starts in dry and dead world where there is almost no water, no planets, and no normal life. Everything has become desert. People fight every day just to stay alive. In this dangerous world, we meet a man named Max. Max lives alone because he has lost his family in the past. Their memories still come into his mind again and again. Because of this, Max feels guilty and lonely, but he never stopped trying to survive. One day, while driving his famous black car through the desert, Max is suddenly attacked by a group called the War Boys. They are loyal soldiers of a powerful ruler named Imotranjo. The war boys chase Max with many fast vehicles. Max tries his best to escape, but after a long chase, he is finally catched. The war boys take away his car, save his head, and make him a prisoner. They tie Max like a animal and use him as a living blood bag for a sick war boy named Nux. Max has no freedom now. He only waits for a chance to escape from his terrible palace. After some time, we see the hug forest called the Cathedral. This palace is ruled by Immortan Joe. He controls all the clean water in the desert, so thousands of people must obey him. The poor people live at the bottom of the cathedral. They wait every day for just a few drop of water. Sometimes Immortan Joe opens the water gates for a short time and even runs with buckets and bottles. Everyone run with buckets and bottles. People push each other because they are very thirsty. But Immortan Joe tells them not to become dependent on water because he wants everyone to need him forever. This is how he keeps his power over the people. At the same time, on the best fighters, Imperator Furiosa gets a very important job. She is trusted by Motonjo because she has completed many dangerous missions before. She drives a giant war truck called the Warring. Every time the Warring leaves the cathedral, it cries fuel, food, and other supplies to different places in the desert. Many war boys travel with her to protect the truck from enemies. Before starting the journey, everyone believed that this is just another normal supply trip. The gates of the cathedral open and the warring slowly move into the endless desert. Behind the truck, many armed vehicles follow to keep it safe. Nobody knows that Furiosa has already made a secret plan. Instead of tracking the usual road, Furiosa suddenly turns the war ring in another direction. At first, the war boys think she is avoiding danger, but after some time they become confused. This road doesn't lead to the normal trending palace. On side, one soldier sends a message back to the cathedral. When Imogenjo hears that Furiosa has changed her route, he becomes angry and suspicious. Then the biggest surprise is revealed. Hidden inside the war ring are Imogenjo, five young wives. Their names are Splendid, Angerhard, Capable, Toast, the Knowing, the Dag, and Chiedo, the Fragile. They have escaped because they don't want to live as prisoners anymore. They dream of a life where they can be free, safe, and treated with respect. Firoza has decided to risk her own life to help them escape from Immortan Joe forever. When Immortan Joe enters the room where the wives were kept, he finds a message written on the wall. The message tells him that they are not his property anymore. The moment he understands what ha- what has happened, this first fills with rage. He immediately orders every war boy to prepare for a message. Loud alarms begin ringing across the cathedral. Mm, Engines start rolling, weapons are loaded, and hundreds of fighters rush to their vehicles. The entire army is ready to hunt Furiosa and bring the waves back at any cost. Meanwhile, Max is still tied to Nux as a blood bag. Nux is weak because of his illness, but he believes that catching Furiosa will make Immortan Joe proud of him, so he joins the chase with Max still chained to the front of his vehicle. Max has no choice. He is pulled into one of the biggest and most dangerous car chase in the movie history. Even though he does not yet know why everyone is chasing the warring or what the women inside it really are, the desert becomes louder every minute as hundreds of engines shake the ground. Dust rise high into the sky, making it difficult to see anything far away. The warring driven by Furiosa keeps moving at full speed inside the truck. The five wives stay close together. They are scared because they know that if a modern Joe catch them, they will never be free again. Furiosa tells them to stay calm because fear will only make things worse. She keeps both hands on the steering wheel and watches every road, every rock, and every moving vehicle around her. Behind the O-ring, Immortan leads the chase with his hug army. Many different vehicles race across the desert. Some are small and very fast, while others are big and covered with heavy metal. The war boys scream loudly as the driver. They are ready to die if it helps Immortan win. Nux also drives with full speed. Max is still tied to the front of Nux car. Max tried many times to free himself, but the chain are too strong. Every bump bump on the road hurts him, but he does not give up. He keeps looking for the right moment to escape. Soon the chase become even more dangerous. A group of enemies living in the desert notice the warring. These people do not care who wins. They only want to steal fuel and supplies. They attack both Furiosa and Immortanjo. Suddenly, explosions fill the desert. Bullets fly everywhere, long metal police crying, a war boy swing through the air toward the warring. The fighters jump from one vehicle to another while the trucks continue moving at high speed. One war boy leads on the warring and starts fighting Furiosa. Another tries to open the back of the truck. The wives quickly help each other close the door and stop the attackers. They understand that this fight is their only chance to live freely. Max finally managed to break part of the chain holding him. During the confusion, Nux loses control of his vehicle. The car crashes hard into the sand and rolls several times before stopping. Max survived the crash, but he is still connected to Nux by a short chain. He quickly searched for a way to unlock it, but before he can escape completely, a sandstorm begins to form in front of everyone. The sky turns dark even though it is daytime. Strong winds throw sand into the air. Lightning flashes inside the storm, creating a fright- frightening view. Many soldiers become afraid because they know that entering this storm could mean death. But Furiosa has no other choice. If they slow down, Immortan Joe will catch her. He drive the warring strand into the giant sandstorm. The warring disappear inside the thick clouds of sand. Hug tornadoes span across the desert, lifting vehicles into the air. Some enemy cars are destroyed in seconds. Others crash into each other because nobody can see clearly. Fire, sand, and lighting fill every direction. The storm becomes so powerful that even the strongest vehicle struggle to stay on the ground. Nux also drive into the storm because he wants to prove himself. Max shoots at him to stop, but Nux refuses to listen. A giant tornado suddenly catch their vehicles. It spins through the air like a toy. The car is thrown violently before crashing deep into the desert. Max loses consonance for some time. When Max opens his eyes again, everything is quiet. The storm has passed. The desert is silent. Broken vehicles are strayed everywhere. Many soldiers have disappeared forever. Max looks around and realizes that he is finally free from the main battle. Nux is alive but badly injured. Max removes the remaining chain from his body and starts walking across the empty desert. Far away, Max notices the warring standing still. He understands that Furiosa and the woman must be somewhere nearby. Since he has no food, no water, no weapon, and no vehicle, he decides to go toward the truck. At first, his only goal is survival. He is not interested in helping anyone. He simply wants water, supplies, and a vehicle so that he can continue his journey alone. Max quietly reaches the boring. He picks up a gun and watches Furiosa from a distance. Furiosa also notices him immediately. Both of them stop moving and stare at each other without saying a word. They know that one wrong move can start another deadly fight. The wives stand behind Furiosa, watching the stranger with fear. Max looks tired, dirty, and dangerous, while Furiosa refuses to trust anyone. In the middle of the silent desert, two strong survivors finally come face to face, and neither of them is ready to step back. For a few seconds, nobody speaks. Max keeps his gun pointed toward Furiosa, and Furiosa does the same. Both of them have survived for many years in the dangerous desert, so they know that trusting a stranger can cost a life. The five wives stand behind Furiosa and carefully watch every moment of Max. The hot wind blow across the desert, and the only sound is the engine of the war rig slowly cooling down. Max finally tells Furiosa that he only wants the truck, the water, and the fuel. He has no plan to stay with them. Furiosa refuses immediately because without the war rig, she and the wives can't escape. The situation becomes very tense. Max tries to take the gun from Furiosa, but she fights back. In just a few seconds, both of them began a hard hand-to-hand fight. They push each other into the sand, kick, punch, and struggle to control the weapons. Since Max still has a chain attached to one of his hand, it becomes harder to him to move freely. Furiosa uses this to her advantage and attack again. The wives do not stand quietly. They also jump into fight because they think Max wants to kill them. One of the wives throw a heavy object at Max while another tries to pull the gun away from him. For a few moments, everyone is fighting together. Sand flies everywhere and nobody is full in control. Finally, Max manages to get the gun, but when he tries to fire it, nothing happens because the weapon has no bullets. Furiosa quickly realizes that this and attacks him once more. After a long struggle, both Max and Furiosa become tired. They understand that if they keep fighting, they will only waste time and energy. Max noticed that the war ring can't move because part of its fuel system has been damaged during the chase. Furiosa also know that they can't stay in one place for long because Immortan Joe and his army will eventually find them. Without saying much, Max starts checking the damaged engine. Furiosa watches him carefully because he still does not trust him. Max uses his experience to repair the damaged parts as quickly as possible. The waves also help by bringing tools and holding different parts of the truck. Slowly, everyone begins working together, even though they are still strangers. While the repairs continue, Max noticed something about Furiosa. One of her arms is made of metal, even with only one real arm. She drive hug vehicles, fights powerful enemies, and never give up. Mac Max starts respecting her strength, although he does not say it aloud. Furiosa also says that Max is not a cruel man, he only does whatever he needed to survive. Soon the war rig is ready to move again. Before leaving, Max fills his bottle with water because he knows he may not find clean water again for many days. He still thinks about leaving the group and continuing his journey alone. But when he looks around the empty desert, he realizes that traveling alone without a vehicle is almost impossible. After thinking for a few moments, he decides to stay with Furiosa for now. The journey begins again. The war rig moves across the endless desert while the sun burns above them. During the ride, the waves slowly began taking to Max. They tell him how important you treat them like prisoners and never allowed them to live normal life. They explain that Furiosa promised to take them to a palace called the Green Palace, where there are trees, fresh water, planets, and peaceful people. For the wives, the Green Palace is more than just a location, it is a symbol of hope and a chance to begin a new life. As they continue driving, Nux, who survived the sandstorm, secretly climbs into the back of the war rig without anyone noticing. He hides between the supplies and waits for the fight moment to attack. Max, Furiosa, and the wives have no idea that danger is already traveling with them. They believe they have escaped the roast part of the chase, but a new and even more dangerous problem is waiting just a few steps away. The Warrig continue moving across the endless desert. The sun is very hot, and every inside the truck is dried after the long chase. Max sits quietly and keeps looking around because he knows danger can come from any direction. Furiosa drives with without stopping. She wants to reach the Green Palace before Imotenjo finds them again. Inside the truck, the wives slowly began to trust Max. At first, they were afraid of him because he looked like a dangerous man. But now they see that he helped repair the wiring and did not harm anyone. One of the wives capable gives Max some water. Max accepted quietly. In this desert, even a small amount of water is were valuable. Max understands that sharing water means someone is beginning to trust another person. As the journey continues, Furiosa tells everyone about the Green Palace. She say that when she was a little girl, she lived there with many women called the Buvalini. The Green Palace had trees, clean water, fruits, and fresh air. Nobody had to fight every day just to drink water. Furiosa escaped from that palace many years ago after being captured by Motenjo. Since then, she has always dreamed of going back. The wives listen carefully because this story gives them hope. They imagine a peaceful life far away from war and fear. Meanwhile, Nux is secretly hiding inside the war rig. He moves very carefully so nobody hears him. He watches everyone from behind the supplies and wait for the best time to attack. Nux still believe that if he captured the wise and returned them to Immortan Joe. He will become a great hero. After some time, capable hero, capable hears a strange sound coming from the back of the truck. Before she can tell anyone, Nux suddenly jump out of his hiding palace. Everyone is shocked. Furiosa quickly stops the war rig and another fight begins. Nux tries to take control of the truck, but Max attacks him immediately. Both of both of them fall into the ground and start fighting. They punch, kick, and struggle with all their strength. The waves also try to help Max by pulling away. During the fight, Capable noticed something different about Nux. She see that he is not only angry but also very sick. His body is weak and he catch many times. She realized that Nux has spent his whole life believing that dying for Immortanjo is the greatest honor. Nobody has ever shown him real kindness, lesson of hating him, capable being to feel sorry for him. Finally, Max defeat Nux and tries him up so he can't attack again. Furiosa wants to leave him behind the desert because he believes he will only create more problem. But Capable asks Furiosa to let Nux stay alive. She say that every person deserves one chance to change. Max does not say much, but he watches Nux carefully because he still does not trust him. As evening comes, the group reaches a dangerous swamp filled with mud and old abandoned structures. Strange birds fly above them, and the area looks silent and mysterious. Furiosa believe they are getting close to the Green Palace. Everyone becomes excited because they think their long journey is almost over. However, none of them know that the biggest surprise of their journey is waiting justized. The truth about the Green Palace will soon change Furiosa plan completely and force the entire group to make the most important decision of their lives. The warring slowly move through the swamp during the night. The ground is soft and the vehicles sink the into the mud many times. Furiosa drive very carefully because one mistake could trap the truck forever. Around them, old trees stand without leaves, and broken bedding can be seen into the distance. Everything looks quiet, but nobody feels safe. Max keeps watching every side of the swamp with his weapon ready. After traveling for some time, Furiosa stops the war rig. She tells everyone that this is the palace where she is supposed to meet the Uvalini, the woman who once lived with her in the Green Palace. Furiosa waits patiently, hoping someone will appear. For a few minutes, nothing happens. The desert is completely silent. Suddenly, shadows began moving in the darkness. Several motorcycles slowly come out from behind the trees. A group of older women sounds the word. They cry guns and look very strong. Even at their age, Max immediately points his weapon at them, but Furiosa quickly tells him to stop. She recognizes the women and realizes they are the Uvalini. Furiosa gets down from the truck and walks toward them with tears in her eyes. One of the older women looks closely at Furiosa and slowly recognizes her. They hug each other after many years. It is an emotional moment because Furiosa has dreamed about his meeting for a long time. She believes she has finally returned home, but only a few moments later her happiness disappears. Firoza asks them where the Green Palace is. The older woman becomes silent. Then they tell her the painful truth. Many years ago, the Green Palace was destroyed. The clean water disappeared. The trees died, and the land slowly turned into a lifeless swamp. There is no beautiful home waiting for them anymore. Everything Firoza remembered from her childhood is gone forever. Hearing this, Furiosa can't control her emotions. She falls onto her knees and begins to cry. For years, she risked her life, believing she could return to a peaceful palace. She escaped from Imoranjo, saved the wives, and crossed the dangerous desert only because she believed the Green Palace still existed. Now she learned that her dream has already disappeared. The wives also become heartbroken. They had imagined living a free and peaceful life surrounded by nature. Now they realize that they have now here to go. Even Max, who usually hides his feelings, becomes quiet. Everyone understands that their long journey has not brought them to safety. The Vuvalini explain that they have survived for years by moving from one place to another. They collect seeds from different planets and keep them safe in small bags. They hope that one day, if the war become better, these needs can grow into new forest again. Even after losing everything, they have not lost hope. During the night, everyone sit together around a small fire. They share food and water while talking about their lives. Max listen more than he speak. He remember his own family and the people he could not show. Furiosa feels responsible for bringing everyone to a palace that no longer exists. The next morning, the Vuvalini suggests traveling further across the salt flats. They believe there may be another place where they can survive. It is a very long journey and nobody knows what is waiting there. Max thinks quickly for a long time. Then an important idea comes into his mind. He realized that running away is no longer the best choice. Instead of going further into unknown, he believed that there is a better plan, no the one that one that is dangerous but gives everyone a real chance to win. When Max finally stand up and begins explaining his plan, and Furiosa and the others, everyone looks at him with surprise. His idea sounds almost impossible, but if it works, it could change everything. Max stands quietly for a few moments before speaking. Everyone looks at him because they want to know what he is thinking. Furiosa believes the only choice is to keep moving forward across the endless salt flats. It is very long journey and nobody knows if they will ever find food, water or a safe place. Max sacks his hand. He say that traveling forward is almost the same as waiting for death. Their fuel is limited, their food is running low, and sooner or later they will stop in the middle of nowhere. Then Max share his idea. Instead of running away, they should run the war rig around the drive back through the cathedral. At first, everyone is shocked. The wives can't believe what they hear. Going back to the palace they escaped from sounds like a terrible idea. Furiosa also looks at Max with surprise because the cathedral is protected by Immortanjo and his entire army. Max calmly explained his plan. He said that almost every fighter from the cathedral is already chasing them. If they can defeat the enemies during the return journey, the cathedral itself will be left with very few guards. More importantly, the cathedral has clean water, food, and strong walls. If they reach it first, they can open the water for the ordinary people instead of letting Emoranjo control everything. Max tells them that running forever will never solve their problems. Sometimes the only way to become free is to face the enemy directly. Everyone becomes silent. Firoza thinks deeply about his words. She remembers all the years she spent surviving Imotanjo and all the innocent people suffering because of him. Slowly she realized that Max is right. If they keep escaping, Imoranjo will continue ruling forever. But if they return and win, thousands of lives could become better. The Vuvalini also agreed to help. When when even though they are older women, they are experienced fighters. They clean their weapons, check their motorcycles, and prepare for one final battle. The wives also decide that they will not hide anymore. They know that coming fight will decide their future. Meanwhile, far behind them, Imoranjo is still leading the chase. He has become even more furious after learning that Furiosa is getting farther away. He orders every remaining vehicle to continue searching without stopping. His army crossed the desert at full speed, leaving a clouds of dust behind them. Back at the war rig, everyone prepares carefully. Max checks every weapon and counts the remaining bullets. Furiosa repairs the truck one last time and makes sure that engine is ready for the longest and most dangerous drive of their lives. Nux, who has been quietly watching everything, begins to change. For the first time, he see people helping each other without fear or orders, capable, continuous treating with him with kindness, and this slowly changes into way he thinks. Nux starts questioning everything important Joe thought him. Finally, the engine of the war rig starts with a loud roar. Everyone climbs into their possibly positions. Furiosa takes the driver's seat. Max sit ready with his weapons, and wives prepare to help during the fight. And the Uvalini ride beside the truck on their motorcycles. Instead of driving away from danger, the war rig turns around the races strength back toward the cathedral. In the distance, hug cloud of dust began to rise again. Imotenjo and his army are getting closer every minute. The final phase is about to begin, and this battle will decide not only the lives of Max and Furiosa, but also the future of everyone living under a Motanjo rule. The warwick races back toward the cathedral at full speed. Dust fills with the air behind the truck, and the loud sound of the engine echoes across the desert. Everyone know that this is their last chance. There is no second plan and no safe palace to hide. Max keep looking through the small opening in the truck, watching the road behind them. Furiosa holds the steering wheel tightly and never take her eyes off the path ahead. Soon Motanjo and his army finally see the war coming back toward them. At first they are confused. They expected Furiosa to keep running away, but instead she is driving straight toward them. A few seconds later, Imotanjo understands what is happening. He becomes furious and orders every vehicle to attack immediately. The desert once again turns into a battlefield. First, fast cars surround the war rig from every direction. War boys scream as they jump from one vehicle to another, while long metal poles, bullets being flying through the air. The explosions shake the ground. Furiosa keeps driving through the middle of the chaos without slowing down. Max stands on the side the truck and fires at the attacking vehicles. He carefully saves every bullet because only a few are left. The Vovalini ride beside the war rig on their motorcycle. Even though they are old, they fight with great courage. They shoot at enemy vehicles, protect protect the truck and help clear the road. The wives also refuse to stay hidden. They reload weapons and bullets to make blood to Max and help Furiosa whenever she needs support. During the chase, one enemy vehicle come very close to the war rig. Several war boys climb onto the truck and again attacking everyone. Max fights them one by one. A hard battle starts on top of the moving truck. The vehicles continue racing at high speed while the fight goes on. One war boy falls into the desert while another is pushed off the side of the truck. At the same time, Nux makes a very important decision. He remembers the kindness shown to him by capable. For the first time in his life, he decides not to fight for Immortanjo, but to protect his new friends. He tells capable that he wants to help everyone escape safely. Capable smiles because Nux has truly changed. The battle becomes even more danger. Immortanjo drive closer to the war rig with several powerful vehicles beside him. Furiosa tried to keep control of the truck while avoiding rocks, enemy cars, and explosions. Suddenly, on the enemy vehicle crashed into the side of the war rig. The truck sank violently, and everyone almost lost their balance. Max noticed that Furiosa has a clear chance to stop Immortanjo if he if she can reach him. She gives her cover by fighting off the war boys around the truck. Furiosa climbs toward the front of the war rig while bullets continue flying around her. It is one of the most dangerous moments of the entire journey. Meanwhile, Nux see that more enemy vehicles are closing in behind them. He realizes that unless someone stops those vehicles, the warrior will never reach the cathedral. He quietly begins preparing for a brave sacrifice, even though nobody else notices what is happening. The warrior keeps moving toward the cathedral, but the final battle is far from over. Every second becomes more dangerous than the last. Max Furiosa, the Waves, and the Huvalini are now fighting with everything they have, knowing that next few minutes will decide who survives and who controls the future of the wasteland. The final chase becomes more intense with every passing minute. The war rig is now very close to the cathedral, but Immortanjo and his army are still right behind it. Thick clouds of the dust cover the sky, making it difficult to see clearly. The sound of engine, gunfire, and explosion fills the desert. Nobody has time to rest. Every person is fighting with all their strength. Furiosa keeps driving, keeps driving the war rig through the narrow paths between hug roads. She knows the road better than anyone because she has traveled on it many times before. Max stands on top of the truck and shoots at the enemy vehicles whenever they come too close. He has only a few bullets left, so he never wastes a shot. Suddenly, on the heavy enemy vehicles crash into the side of the war rig. The truck shakes so hard that everyone almost falls. The wives quickly hold onto the metal bars inside the truck to avoid them thrown out. The Ovalini continue protecting both sides of the war rig, but the enemy army is much larger. Immortan Joe finally dive close enough to see Furiosa. His face is full of anger. He shouts orders to his soldiers, telling them to stop the war at any cost. Several war boys jump into the truck again. A fierce fight begins. Max punches one attacker, throws another of the truck, and struggles with a third who is trying to take this weapon. During the fight, Furiosa gets badly injured. She is hit during the battle and begins losing a lot of blood. Even though she is weak, she refuses to stop driving. She knows that if the war rig stops now, everyone will be captured. Max noticed that Furiosa is becoming weaker, so he fights even harder to protect her. At the same time, Nux sees that a narrow canyon lies iced. See, he understands that this is the only place where the enemy vehicles can be stopped. If the path is blocked, the war rig will have enough time to reach the cathedral. Nux looks at Capable one last time without saying many words. They understand each other. Capable realize what Nux is planning, and tears fill her eyes. Nux climbs into one of the damaged vehicles connected to the war rig. At the perfect moment, it turns the steering wheel and crashes the vehicle into the narrow passes. The vehicles become stuck, creating a roadblock. A massive explosion follows. Rocks fall from above, blocking the road completely. Many of Imotanjo vehicles can't move forward anymore. Nux sacrifice his own life to save his friend. The man who once wanted to capture Furiosa and the wives has now become their hero. Capable watches the explosions with fear in her eyes, knowing that Nux give his life so that everyone else could live. The war rig finally reaches Immortan Joe vehicle. Furiosa gathered all her remaining strength and attacks him directly. A a short but powerful fight takes place between them. Furiosa uses a metal chain and finally defeats Imotanjo, the cruel ruler who controlled water and ruled the desert with fear, is finally defeated. However, Furiosa is now extremely weak because of her serious injuries. She loses too much blood and collapses inside the war rig. Max quickly reaches her and realizes that she may not survive unless the receives help immediately. The cathedral is now only a short distance away, but Furiosa's life is hanging by a thread. Max knows that saving the cathedral means nothing if he can't save the woman who made this victory possible. The war rig finally reaches the gates of cathedral. The people living there can't believe what they are seeing. They accepted Immortan Joe to return as the winner, but instead they see Furiosa, Max, and Wives and the Vuvalini coming back. Imotonjo has been defeated and his army has been stopped. Inside the war rig, Furiosa is barely breathing. She has lost a dangerous amount of blood. Max quickly checks her condition and understands that she needs blood immediately. Without talking about himself, Max offers his own blood to shower using a simple medical tube. He gives his blood to Furiosa. Slowly, her breathing becomes stronger. She opens her eyes and looks at Max. She knows that without his help, she would not have survived. As the war rig enters the cathedral, thousands of poor people gather below. For many years, they lived under the cruel rule of a Morenjo. They were always hungry and thirsty, while they while he controlled all the clean water. Now they see that his rule has ended. At first, nobody speaks because they can't believe such a big change has really happened. The wives climb down from the warren and stand beside Furiosa. The people recognize them as the woman who escaped from Emotanjo. Instead of fear, the crowd now feels hope. The Vuvalini also arrive and proudly stand beside Furiosa. After many years, they finally see a chance for a better future. The hug platform inside the cathedral begins moving upward. Furiosa and the wives are lifted toward the top where Imotanjo once ruled. The people below cheer loudly. They below Furiosa will become a new leader who will treat everyone fairly instead of using fear and violence. Then comes one of the most powerful moments in the movie. The water gates of the cathedral are opened completely. Huge amounts of clean water flow down over the rocks and into the hands of the waiting people. Men, women, and children happily collect the water for the first time in many years. They do not have to fight each other for just a few drops. The desert people celebrate because freedom has finally arrived. While everyone is looking at Furiosa, Max quietly steps back into the crowd. He does not wait for praise or rewards. He never wanted to become a hero or a ruler. His only goal was to help people survive and then continue his own journey. Furiosa looks through the crowd hoping that thank Max one more time, but Max is already disappeared among the people. He gives her one final silent look before walking away. No long goodbye is needed because both of them understand what they have been through together. The movie ends with Max disappearing into the crowd and then into the endless desert once again. He remains a lonely travel, helping people when they need him, and then moving on without accepting anything in return. Furiosa, the wives and the people of the cathedral now have a chance to build a new future based on hope instead of fear. This ending shows that real heroes do not always stay to enjoy victory. Sometimes they simply do what is right and quietly continue their journey. Max leaves behind a world that is finally beginning to change while she walks alone toward another unknown adventure. So, friends, that was my complete review of Mad Max Fury Road. I hope you enjoyed this review and found it helpful. If you have already watched this movie, let me know your favorite scene and your favorite character in the comments. And if you have not watched it yet, I definitely recommended giving it a try, especially if you love action, adventure, and thrilling movies. If you like this review, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing movies review. Your support motivates me to bring more interesting content for you every week. Thank you so much for watching and spending your valuable time with me. Stay safe, stay happy, keep watching great movies, and I will see you in the next video with another exciting movies review. Until then, take care everyone. Goodbye.